How you going? It's that time of year again, when one of my video ideas isn't working out and is taking way longer than I expected.
Sorry, can you let me get the card? Ow! Yeah, can you move? Can I put it there, please? Ow!
But I still want to make money this month and meet a sponsor deadline. So today, I'm listening to you.
I like milk.
You do?
And stealing your ideas and testing how smart you are.
But so you're saying if it's a cold environment, it will come out like a slushie? Yes, okay.
Okay, now most of your suggestions can be categorized into two piles. Either things that I'm not capable of doing, or assassination requests, the last of which I'm definitely not doing. For free. Which left me with a handful of bad ideas. The first suggestion comes from an anonymous emailer who just sent me this screenshot of a treadmill belt sander. And I love it. Not only is this idea dangerous with the potential of finally grinding away my foot fungus, but I reckon it could actually just be a great cheap way of building a strong belt sander. So the first thing I did was grab a $50 treadmill from Facebook Marketplace and stuff it into my car, breaking a light. And now all I need to do is somehow turn this belt into sandpaper. And at first I thought I could try just gluing sand onto it, but after making a test piece with some PVC glue and sand on paper, I really don't like my chances of covering a whole belt.
Oh, it hurts. It's like I'm sanding myself.
So instead I took down the measurements of the treadmill belt. And then sent them off to a man that loves sand and asked him to make the most abrasive belt that he could. And 1 week later, I got this in the mail. Okay, then I just carefully took apart the treadmill. Making sure to leave all the spiders exactly where they were, and then fitted the new belt onto it. And now, I think it's done.
It looks actually quite nice.
So, let's see how it works.
Please move. Nice.
So I adjusted the belt to stop it scraping and tried again.
That is terrifying. See what it does to something. See what it does to me.
And I couldn't hold the piece of wood still, so I made some support to help me do that. And with that, it worked really well and sanded away an inch of wood in a matter of seconds. And it's so awesome that this thing actually makes a fantastic belt sander while also retaining the original charm and purpose of the treadmill, helping you grind away your body weight. So I decided I need a run on it.
It doesn't feel that bad.
And I'm not actually that worried, as I figure as long as I keep up with the speed of the belt, it shouldn't actually grind away my feet. If anything, I'll get more grip and potentially set a new world record.
Okay. Oh yeah, it hurts when you slip. Oh. It just sticks to my feet. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh shit. How do I stop it?
Eight out of 10. Suggestion number 2 is already my favorite on paper and comes from Queef Chief in my Discord server, who wants me to make an emergency hot dog that heats up when you crack it like a glow stick. And I'm honestly not sure why this doesn't exist already. It sounds like the perfect food for wealthy castaways or for people that are just sick of eating glow sticks. Don't worry, Queef Chief, I've got your back. And to do this, I think I'm going to need some hot dogs and some dangerous chemicals. And when I mix in this chemical, which is definitely not sodium hydroxide, it should hopefully get hot enough to warm up the hot dog. So I looked up the perfect temperature of a hot dog, which is actually a pretty tricky question to answer. And I found scientific papers that have been done on this exact subject.
Has to be a joke.
And no one seems to agree, and it changes depending on where you are in the world, like New York, Australia, or China. But I settled for a target somewhere in the middle, around 70 degrees. And this water with the chemical reaches a crazy 129 degrees Celsius, which is definitely hot enough. And now I wanted to check how that temperature feels on my hot dog. Perfect. Next, I need a water bag that I can pop easily to mix with the solution. So I cut open the instant cold packs and stole the little water bag. And now I just realized that if I mix these chemicals together in a confined space like I was planning, they might just explode. So I decided to test it first.
Oh, fuck.
Explode. That is so hot. Wow.
And I didn't die, which is good. So now I need a bag to put the hot dog and chemicals in. And glow sticks come in fantastic heat sealable bags. And I tried to buy some of these, but you can only order them in units of 10,000 or more. And I'm not ready to become a full-time hot dog business yet, but I think I can probably make my own bag. If I get some plastic like this and run a solder along it, it sticks together. So I just did this to create a pocket, and then drew what I would want my packaging to look like, then put the hot dog and chemicals inside, then sealed up the other end, and here we have it, the crack dog. Named this because it looks like it's filled with crack. So I decided I was hungry and ready to test it out.
Well, it's getting hot. 68 degrees in the bag. Let's leave it like that for a while. Let's crack our delicious hot dog open. Okay. Am I allowed to touch that? No. Ah! Alright. It's actually hot! Kinda scared.
And that worked perfectly. The hot dog was nice and hot. The only problem was that sodium hydroxide is a highly poisonous corrosive substance that causes skin burns. 0 out of 10. Suggestion number 3 comes from an anonymous mailer who suggests I do a NordVPN sponsorship and get money.
That is a great idea.
I've been using NordVPN for years, and it allows me to have peace of mind when surfing the web, as it protects all my data and internet activity behind a wall of next-generation encryption. It's so easy to use, and with one click you can connect to over 5,200 servers in 60 countries, with speeds so fast you don't even notice Nord is there.
Wow.
Nord is incredibly useful for me, especially when I'm Googling dodgy chemical advice and want to remain protected and secure. It's also great for seeing what happens to YouTube ads when I switch my location from Australia to Sweden. So go now to nordvpn.com/iditathing to get a 2-year plan plus a bonus gift with a huge discount and a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/iditathing. Thank you NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Number 4 comes from Twitter, where I asked all of you for suggestions on the most dangerous ways of cutting my lawn, and I received thousands of comments. Some were bad.
Can you put them on?
And others were also bad. But one stood out as the worst, from William Wave 999, who wants me to get one of those kids ankle hopping games, but put a machete on the end and then cut my lawn. So I went to Toys R Us and bought one of their ankle hoppers, but they were out of machetes, so I bought one of their kitchen knives instead. And then bought another one to open the packaging. Then I removed the blade and attached it to the rope, and then got the ball and attached it to the handle. And now I have the world's most dangerous kids toy and funnest kitchen knife. So before I try using it and risk cutting off my ankles, I thought I should do a practice warm-up. Great, let's do this. And I did actually mow my lawn recently, but I left a little section just for this test. And this goes without saying, but I am a trained professional, and my family has been cutting their lawns like this for generations, so do not try this at home. And I can actually manage to keep it going, so I decided to try and cut the grass.
Oh my god. Oh.
And I couldn't spin it on the grass, so I went back to the concrete and decided that I can move in once the blade is spinning.
So I'll bring it into it.
You cut my foot, but not the grass. 1 out of 10. Okay, on to the last suggestion. And I think I have no choice now but to go with Clumsy Ninja's suggestion from my Patreon and make a machine that can chew for me. So I looked up some machines that already do this, and all of them just make me feel very, very uncomfortable. So I've decided I'm going to make a non-humanoid looking one using a blender, a welder, not my helmet, this tube, and some metal. So first I cut open the top of the helmet and remove the brain, so I have space to put in the blender. Now I need a hole in the blender so the tube can funnel the delicious mush into my mouth. And to make this hole, I got a whole bit and just put it in the blender and turned it on. And now I have this hole, which is actually kind of terrifying as it gives me direct access to the blade when it's spinning. So I decided I would do the same test as with the hot dog and see if it's working alright. Perfect. Then I placed the whole thing in the helmet and attached the tube. Alright, then I cut these metal pieces and placed it together in perfect right angles and welded. And again, and again. Then I gave it a coat of paint, sanded it down, and finally was left with this. So let's go test it out. Okay, for the test, I chucked in some berries, some banana, and some yogurt.
Hurts my head so much.
I have a headache. 5 out of 10. Okay, and now for the winner. And they are all bad ideas. And only all together do they barely create a video. So the winner is NordVPN. And I'm not just saying that because they were the only people on the list not to injure me, but they also gave me a lot of money. Thanks for watching. If you like that, subscribe and check out some of my other videos.